All right, hello and welcome. This is section 8.3. We are finding special products of polynomials, and we're going to be multiplying polynomials again, just like we did in the last section, except this time we're going to do two very special forms of these, and that would be a plus b squared and a plus b times a minus b. So let's jump right into it here. Multiplying a plus b squared. So I need to take you back to chapter 7 for a second and remember this rule that we did where we were doing powers. And the rule we said was that when there's a power outside of the parentheses, you kind of distribute it, right? It's like 3 squared, a squared squared, and b cubed squared, right? Which is true. This is 9a to the 4th, b to the 6th. However, something that maybe we didn't discuss a lot of in this chapter was that notice that the only operation here is multiplication. Inside that parentheses, there is only multiplication. So what we're doing when we do this is 3a squared b cubed times 3a squared b cubed. And that's why this rule up here works, because we can rearrange it, since it's all multiplication, we can rearrange it so that all of these terms, all of these, I shouldn't say terms, all of these variables and numbers are next to each other, and then we can see how this works. What we're going to be multiplying is something different. Notice that there is this operation in the middle. So if we have x plus 3 squared, we don't just go x squared plus 9. It is not the same thing, because what we're doing is x plus 3 times x plus 3. This same rule doesn't work when there's multiplication, or excuse me, when there's addition. Because that is not how we multiply things together. Additions. We'll pluralize it for some reason. We learned in the last section in 8.2 that when we have two binomials, we take the x plus 3 and we distribute it to the x. So we would have x times x plus 3. And then we take the x plus 3 and we distribute it to the 3. So we would have 3 times x plus 3, which gives us x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. And notice that this answer is nowhere near the same as, well, as x squared plus 9. It has this term in the middle, which is not the same thing. Again, we can do it with numbers just to prove it to you. If we had 2 plus 3 squared, which we know is 5 squared, or 25, if you were to go 2 squared plus 3 squared, that equals 13. So it doesn't work. But if you were to go 2 plus 3 times 2 plus 3, and then distribute the 2 plus 3 here, so we have 2 times 2 plus 3, and 3 times 2 plus 3, we would get 4 plus 6 plus 6 plus 9, which is 15 plus 10, or 25. Okay? So, proving it with numbers. This does not work, right? 2 squared plus 3 squared does not work. Don't do it. So this is not x squared plus 9 squared. There is this middle term, this 6x, that needs to be put in there. Let's do a couple of examples. So 3x plus 4 squared is 3x plus 4 times 3x plus 4. And then I know that I can, let's do this with the box. We did the last one with distribution. We'll do this one with the box. Both very legitimate methods. So we have 3, that's a funny 3, 3x plus 4 and 3x plus 4. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times 4 is 12x. 3x times 4 is 12x. And 4 times 4 is 16. So my final answer here as I write down all my terms, combining these like terms is 9x squared plus 24x plus 16. Now, something else that's kind of interesting to note is that if you were to take this thing, the first term, the a, you get 3 squared, right? 3 squared is 9, x squared is x, or x squared. 4 squared is 16. But this middle term, if you were to do 3x times 4, that's 12x, and then go 2 times 12x, you get 24. You get this interesting pattern. This a plus b squared that we're talking about has this pattern that goes a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. And when we're multiplying these, that's not that important, but in 2 lessons, when we do section 8.5, this pattern is going to be super important, okay? But, you know, for now, we can multiply these together. We can get our answers. Let's do one more before we conclude this video. 5x minus 2y squared. Notice there's x's and y's in this. That's 5x minus 2y times 5x minus 2y. Let's distribute this one. 5x minus 2y, oops, distribute to the 5x, is 5x times 5x minus 2y. And then 5x minus 2y distributed to the negative 2y is negative 2y times 5x minus 2y. Woo. Now let's distribute. 25x squared. 5x times negative 2y is negative 10xy. Right? Notice x times y makes xy. Negative 2y times 5x makes negative 10xy. Shouldn't be too surprising. Negative 2y times negative 2y makes positive 4y squared. So final answer, 25x squared minus 20xy plus 4y squared. Which again, if you notice, follows this pattern. A squared, 5x squared is a squared, minus 2ab, or excuse me, plus 2ab, because it's negative 2 times positive 5 makes 20xy times 2. And then this one is plus b squared. And that concludes this video. I've got some problems on your Canvas for you to do. Go ahead and do those problems and come on back and check your solutions on the next video.